There are very great people who simply sees the nature of this world and they simply leave everything.
Yes.
And there are people who even knowing everything, they remain in the world. If everything is unreal, will you kick your boss? The world which are bothering you so much, you need not manage the world. You need to manage yourself only. So I can keep on giving you theories and theories, but a theory before the experience will only confuse your mind. Many questions regarding what should you do, what you should not, they are all very petty questions. If during the anxiety we try to observe the anxiety, you will simply come to know that you are the witness to the anxiety. People fail to witness the anxiety and they assume that it is happening to us. So the observation of anxiety will make the anxiety separate from you because you are witness, and anxiety will just appear as an experience. So how was your day?
Tiring. I just got home.
You just got home.
Cause yeah,
Okay.
we went to the beach actually. The relatives invited me to
Okay.
go to the beach today.
So let's start. So the last lecture, have you contemplated on that, or any issues with the last lecture?
I don't have any issues with it.
So were you able to digest the teaching?
Yes, but I guess I have to spend more time learning it. So it's not a 1 day process that I will absorb everything.
Hmm.
Sometimes I forget about it. Sometimes, oh, this is what I've taught and I've learned.
Yes, yes. Actually, the in the when the teaching is fresh, you'll be able to look at the things, but some stabilization period is required. Okay,
Yeah.
when you will check the teaching in your direct experience again and again, then you'll be able to get hold of the teaching in 24 hours in your life.
Mm.
So but this is just to give you a complete direction regarding the life, and even a right direction is very important thing, that
Yes.
even if the direction you are moving into is right, then success in the life will come one day or the other. It is just a matter of time.
Yeah.
So this day 2 or the session 2 of path of knowledge, this pertains to the knowledge of the world, the illusion. Okay.
Okay.
We have checked you, okay, who you are. You you are birthless, deathless, ageless, formless, changeless, empty. This is the most important thing. If you try to
Yes.
find anything related to you, you will find only the emptiness. And you are pure, free, eternal, peaceful, blissful love. So these are the qualities of you already which people try to seek. But now this is about ourselves. But if we are the subject and there is the world around us, है ना? There are two things, you and the world.
Hmm.
So let's check something about this world, so-called world in
Okay.
around us, in which we feel trapped or in which we live or we exist.
Okay.
So the tools which we'll be using are the same, the direct experience and the logic. Okay,
Okay.
and the tools we'll be using the same. Now we'll start that where are you now, or where is your body located?
Where is my body located right now? Sitting
Yeah,
here. Is
yes,
that what you mean?
yes. You are sitting here. So what is in front of you? Again, you have to choose any one object. You have chosen any object in front of you. Now look carefully at the object. We have seen that you are looking at the object and you are experiencing the object directly.
Yes.
And the another thing about this object is it is the experience is whatever your eyes are telling about this object.
Mm-hmm.
You will see that you are only experiencing whatever your eyes are telling about this object. Is there any doubt about it?
No.
So now let us say there is a red tomato before you. A red tomato. Assume a red tomato in front of you.
Okay.
So what is the color of tomato?
Red.
Red. Yes, good.
If it's red.
You are likely to say red only. But if we shine the blue light on this tomato, what will be the color of the tomato?
Shine
If
a blue light.
yes, if right now the light in your room is maybe white or yellow.
I
And
guess it will reflect whatever
yes,
color.
yes, because it will appear black because the it is appearing red in the white light. Tomato is appearing red in
Mm,
the white light. It absorbs everything and it
okay.
reflects the red light. That's why it appears red. If we remove the red color from the source, it will absorb all the colors and it will appear as black.
Okay.
We have just changed the source of the light. Now what is the, if we ask a question to ourselves, what is the actual color of the tomato?
If it's not ripe, it's green.
The word which we are attaching is the actual color. If I take the color when it is white under white light, the color is red. And if I change the source, then the color is black. Now if there are two choices here with respect to choosing the actual color. If there are different people, let's say there is Aikz and there is another the Saadhna is there. If you chooses the white light and Saadhna chooses the blue light as the source, so the actual color of the tomato will be different for the two people depending upon the choice they make.
Mm-hmm.
Now there is no actual color. It has been decided arbitrarily. Why arbitrarily? Many people will agree and say that it is red. The color of the tomato is red. But let us say instead of sun being the yellow or the white with the white light, the sun to our planet, if it is blue, then the tomato will seem black, and that will become the reality for our whole planet. So we experience whatever our eyes are telling us about the shape and the color. The actual attribute of that object is never seen. Nobody knows. So we do not know the actual color. It is arbitrary. Depending upon the reference, it has been fixed. So the what we are saying is the actual color is never seen. Now, if even the shape and the color, because if a person, let's say, who has some issue in their eyes and they sees two instead of one tomato, it can happen. Even the child, some child experiments also, if they continue staring at one object, it splits into two because we have two eyes.
Mm-hmm.
It is a very common experience.
People also.
Sometime multiple also. Now, if somebody is seeing two tomato because of their eyes, we will say here the other person with the deformed eyes will say there are two tomatoes. But are they really two tomatoes? So if there is a person who has an issue in the eyes because of which he sees the two. And if he will say there are two tomatoes, are they really two tomatoes? No, we know that. So because of a defect in our eyes, how many tomatoes can be seen? Two or more. Hmm?
Mm.
So the truth about the objects is just an agreement. It is a common agreement. There are people who cannot see the traffic lights, basic traffic lights, red, green, yellow. There are color blind people. So for they never see those colors. So the reality becomes a bit different for them. So for a blind person, there is no moon, no stars. The world which we is around us is because of our senses, and we know that different creatures have different senses. So some
Yes.
creature even have the better senses than us. At least we know the focus of the senses of different creatures are different.
Yeah.
Now let's say our touch is also distorted. Whatever we touch appears as two. Now will there be any doubt in our mind that there are two tomatoes? If we touch that object, our chosen object as tomato, if there is, our touch is saying because of some distortion that there are two tomatoes, then would our mind will have any difficulty in accepting that there are two tomatoes? Because mind is just fed the information from whatever the senses we are having. Now illusion of the tomato is produced by senses. Senses tell us what is there. Actually we do not know what is really there. In actual terms, if someone starts to ask what is the actual thing that is there, let's say when there is fever, whatever we eat is tasteless in the fever, because there is no taste in the objects. The taste is dependent upon the tongue. If the tongue that tells us what is the taste, and if we distort the tongue or change the tongue, or during the fever the tongue attributes are changed a little bit, then there is no real taste in anything.
Suppose when we have a cold, so the taste disappears.
Yes.
Now we can take one more example. Let's say we take 3 cups of water, okay, hot, neutral and cold. Let's say middle one is at the room temperature and the other one is hot and cold. If you dip your hand in boiling water and then dip in the neutral water, room temperature, one hand will say the water is cold. But if we dip our hand in the iced water and then put in the room temperature water, our other hand will say that it is warm. So depending on the initial condition of our hand, one hand will say the room temperature water is hot, one will say it is cold. So what it is just you can see the senses are relatively acting. Senses are making it up. There is really no hot and no cold. We cannot see the middle temperature of the water at the room temperature was same, but both hands were telling the different information depending on their initial conditions. So if you start to ask what is the actual temperature, you can't tell, because it is all relative. So another example you can see is that if there is a old piece of bread and somebody has not eaten for 3 days, what his reaction will be? He'll feel very happy even with that old piece of bread, 2 to 3 days stale piece of bread. Now if you throw the same bread to a millionaire, or if we throw it to you, you will feel angry and insulted. 3 days old food. Now how it is possible that the object remains the same, but depending upon the person or the senses, one person gets the happiness and other person is suffering? Because it is totally subjective. there is no happiness or suffering, because if it is there, it is not depending on anything. There is no happiness, no suffering. If they are really there, they should not be dependent on anything, na? That is why we are saying it is an illusion. Hmm? Because it is totally subjective. It is totally made up thing. If you make something of one object, the other person can make something else of the same object. So two people are seeing the object in differently. So if we start to discuss about what is the object in actually, really, there'll be, if there are 10 people, there'll be 10 different type of objects. So it is a type of illusion. Nobody really knows what is an object. The only thing is, if 10 are fed the same conditions, they assume that it is same. But as soon as we change some variable, the nature of the object changes. So why we are saying it is an illusion? Because it is subjective. We do not really know. It is dependent.
It happens in relationships also. One person sees one thing and the other person sees the same thing as a good, and the other person will see the same thing as bad. So it happens in
agree.
people also.
Now logic. If we check with our logic, if one day I say my name is Aiko, another day I say my name is Aikz, third day I'll say my name is Dudu, then there will be no actual name, because the name has kept on changing. We can see that we do not know the true name. If you go to a shopkeeper, one day the shopkeeper says 50 bucks, another day he says 70 bucks for the same object, and third day he says 30 bucks. So if he keeps on changing the cost, and if you ask what is the actual cost of that object, you will not be able to say, because it has kept on changing. So same thing with the property also. If you property is a fixed thing, okay, the house and everything. So if you go to the owner of the house and you want to buy the property, and if he gives the minimum details to you, and if you ask for paper, and let's assume that the paper are saying the different details than what the owner has told you, will you buy the property? No, because the details have changed. They were not what they were told to you before by the owner. So similarly, another thing is, if you meet a person, he is a good fellow the first month, if he meets you. Now after first month, as you discover more about that person, you'll see he lies, he manipulates, he says bad things. Now there'll be no trust. We will say that this person is not genuine. Why? Because he is changing. Simply because he has changed.
So, like, we can't decide what is the reality, the first month reality or the second month reality. We can't say what is true.
What is true? So the based on this observation, we can derive our criteria. That common way of checking whether something is true or false is because if that thing has changed or not. If now if you look at the sea, if you just remember the beach you went today, if you look at the sea, you see the waves.
Yeah.
Can I take the waves and leave the sea?
No.
It's not possible. So which one is changing, wave or the water?
The water.
Water is changing or the waves?
I mean the waves. The waves.
So what we say is that you can see that waves do not have an independent existence. Waves do not have independent existence. If you want to take away the wave with you, it's not possible. So they cannot be real. They are the shape of water. The waves, they are the shape of water in a particular form. Now, the shape is just a concept in the mind. We have named occurrence or a particular form of water as wave. So the form is changing, not the water. Can we see this?
If you put the same water in a bottle, it will take the shape of a bottle, but the water is same.
The
Yeah.
water is same. The form has changed. So the wave, we say, do not have any independent existence. Hmm? So let's again take the example of clay and pot. Can you take away the clay pot without taking the clay?
No.
What is changing here? The shape or the clay?
The shape.
The shape. Now pot is changing but not the clay. Similarly, we can take the example of jewelry and gold. We can make the jewelry take any form. But we cannot have any jewelry without the gold.
Mm.
So the form is changing, not the material or the essence.
Mm.
So with these three examples, we can say that the essence has not changed. The essence is never changing. So the essence in the example of water or wave was the water. Then in the clay and pot, the clay is the essence. And the third thing about is jewelry and gold. What is the essence or material substance? It is the gold. Now on the path of knowledge, we say if something has changed, the criteria is very simple. If something has changed, it is non-existence. It was never there. It is just a non-essential and it is just an idea. Because if we talk about essence is that which is not changing, and that which is not changing we will call as truth. That which is not changing, we should call that truth. No? We have seen with our previous examples, if something have changed, we say these are false. If our boyfriend changes, we say you have changed, you are liar, you are false. So, but we are trying to look at a thing which is the essence. Essence. By essence we means this should not change. The essence. Now, let us look at our experience. We have looked at all our experience in day one. Is there anything in our experience that is not changing?
No.
Not really. All the things are changing. Just check. If you will see that all the things are changing. So if there is nothing in our experience which is not changing, it means all the things are changing. So with our criteria we are saying everything is false. Here the false implies that the thing is changing. It is non-existent. It do not have an independent existence. That is why we are saying it is false. We are not saying it has disappeared or something else. No. Simply the criteria is the things which are changing, we are terming them as false. You are just see this. Do not let your mind goggle up the concept without the mind can make you fool on this aspect that okay, what is false? False simply means on this criteria that because all the things are changing, so and the changing thing we are telling them as false. That is why we say this whole world is an illusion. Nothing is real. Everything is changing and therefore it is false. If let's say day one class you were there with some face and today your face has changed, so would I say Aiko is same or Aiko is false? False.
Even the earth is changing, but at a very, very slower rate. So we don't consider it change. So what changes fast in front of us, we can see it easily. But what changes slow, it's very hard for us to accept that.
So there is only one thing that is changing, that is not changing. You can see that is you.
Who is looking over everything?
Who is look
The
over, yes,
witness. Okay.
The
witness,
witness.
who is
Yes.
looking over everything. That one is not changing. So the sensing are experiencing something, but we do not know what it is. When we are sensing, why we see them as real is because everyone is seeing the same thing. Those who do not see the same thing, we say something is wrong with their senses, not ours. If in a family one person sees something else, the other family member will say he has gone mad. Just because he is not agreeing. Let's say there is a party given by the painters. There are 550 painters in a party,
Mhm.
and they see, all of them see some great thing in a painting, in the party. A villager comes, a random villager comes in that party, and he will only see the random paints. So from the perspective of villager, there is no beautiful or ugly painting.
Mhm.
But the 50 painters in the party, they will check whether the painting is beautiful or ugly, or to what degree it is beautiful or ugly. Because the beautifulness or ugliness of a particular object is totally mind created, depends upon the person who is viewing that thing. The person who is bad according to you may not be bad according to someone else.
Even if that person is not villager, if the painting is abstract painting, which normal
Yes.
people do not find like a normal painting, so
Yeah.
they will say, what is it? They can't understand that, right? But
Right.
people who can see, who has those eyes, who can take something from that, so they will understand.
So there are some people who will say the painting is beautiful, and some people
We'll
will
say
not
that it
see
is
anything.
like a rough thing,
Crap.
like what is this?
So the interesting thing, Aiko, is that beauty is an illusion. The same person, when they met for first time, they see totally beautiful two people together. After 1 or 2 years, they say, where is the beauty?
Even the most beautiful person turns into the most ugly person, like,
Yes.
so there is no fixed criteria even in people's life, they keep on changing.
So the beauty or the particular nature of an object is totally the mind created. We actually project the quality onto the object. So any doubts up till here, Aiko?
No.
No. Is the topic going a little boring, or
It's not. No.
because
It's okay.
it is little about the world. You just need to know the directions. That is very, very important. So let us check the concept of impermanence. When we
Okay.
say everything is changing and the only non-changing thing is you, the witness, and witness is made up of nothing, no material,
Formless.
formless. Now if we take a tomato, okay, let's take another example of a red tomato. Keep it in on the table for 5 days. What will happen?
Right.
It will rot. Okay. Now let us keep everything same as it is, senses as it is, the laws of the world as it is, mind as it is. Simply we are trying to speed up the mind,
Mm.
fast forward.
Time.
Now the tomato, if it has rotten in for 5 days, and if I speed up the time, the tomato will rot in 5 hours. Hmm?
Initially the
Yeah.
tomato was
Yeah.
rotting in 7 days, and then the time, if we speed up the time, then it will rot in 5 days. If we further speed up the time, it will rot in 5 hours also.
And if we further speed up the time, it can be gone in a second also.
Mm-hmm.
Now what we are saying, what we will say about this tomato, was it real, is it real? If we speed up the time so that it disappears in 5 minutes instead of 5 days, we will even check, is there really a tomato? If we again increase the more time from 5 minutes to 5 seconds, hmm,
Mm.
you pick up a knife and try to cut the tomato, but it disappears in 5 seconds. What you are going to say about the reality of tomato? You will probably say that you were dreaming. There may be doubt if you actually even had a tomato. If you even increase more time frame, hmm,
The
of the,
blink of an eye, even in the blink of an eye, it was there, and
it
it was
was
gone,
just there
and it's
and
gone.
gone.
Okay.
We can even speed up the things even beyond the range of our eyes. In just 1 millisecond, the tomato may be gone. Now, if it goes in a blip in a millisecond, will we say there is a tomato? And
No.
and if we increase the speed beyond the range of our eyes, we will simply see even before we notice the object, it is gone. Hmm?
Mm-hmm.
So just by speeding up the time, what was real and useful, the tomato.
Are you getting a call or something?
Pick
No,
it.
not me.
Okay, okay.
Mm.
So what was real and useful is completely fake and useless just by increasing or the speed, the time.
Of time.
If it changes too fast, there is nothing. It is only change. Now, isn't everything like this? Only what lasts for a while we say it is really there. That is because there is a memory of it. Tomato remains in the memory for 5 days, so it is useful for our survival, or so it is real. Now everything is like this. When we speed up the time, it becomes like a dream. We can see how fast a dream is and how useless it is. We say everything was unreal and false and meaningless about the dream. Now everything starts changing relative to you, then you see it as a dream. Hmm?
Mm.
Why we are saying this is, let's say you go to a beautiful garden one day, and the another day, next day, you just saw all the ruins and desert, as if 100 days or 100 years have passed. Now next day you wake up and you see a mountain. Hmm?
Mm-hmm.
Will your mind going to believe it? No, because how it can change so fast. So everything is, let's say this was the journey of a garden to ruins and to mountains. Let's say it is the journey of 300 years. Everything is changing, but the only issue is it is changing slowly. That is why things are seemingly real. Hmm?
That is why they seem real for now.
You were that small in your mother's womb, that small maybe more,
Like a peanut.
and now now you are this much. The body has changed so much. If we reduce the time frame and suddenly from your mother's womb you sit like this on a chair, nobody will call Aiko as real.
They will call it a magic or a ghost, probably.
Now same thing happens with our thoughts and emotions. You'll see that emotions change fast. The good feeling of the morning do not last, and thoughts change even more. We treat them as real because they repeat. Hmm? We consider now our thoughts are so real. Everything is happening like this, but things are changing slowly because things move slowly, they seem real.
Mm-hmm.
If one day you are angry, hmm, but if you experience anger only once in a while in your life, you will not even know that it is there. Hmm? Because it is repeating, we are assuming that it is real. If it stops repeating, it is not real. Hmm? So memory is just a repetition and therefore it appears as real. Sometimes it's useful for our survival. Love is useful, anger is useful, and so on. But if a thing will not repeat in your life, won't you doubt whether it is real or not? Let's say you got fever only once in 100 years. Will you ever believe that there is such a thing called fever? Because the fever repeats, we assume that they are there.
Also, people are repeating, so we think people are there.
So we treat them as real because they repeat. So there is the memory of the experience. That is why these things seem so real. There is consistency in this illusion. The consistency is because of the repetition. Now, criteria for the truth are very arbitrary and very subjective. Anybody can set up any criteria according to their own understanding, like or dislike. Regarding the truth, a criteria is needed to tell anything about an object, and the criteria is person specific. Any person can assume any criteria regarding an object. That's why the different shopping experiences. The same object in shop is viewed differently by the different customers. If 20 people sees a tomato and they say it is very red, it is round and tasty, now it becomes real. In the waking world, it becomes real. 20 people have told you that it is so red, round and tasty. Now if same tomato is seen by 20 people in a dream, and when you wake up, was it real? Now what we mean to tell is the criteria was same. In the waking state, 20 people saw the tomato, and in the dream state, 20 people saw the tomato. But one is, we say, is real, and the dream state tomato, we will say it is not real. So the reality is very arbitrary, because in the both things the appearance was there. And even in the dreams we can have the taste also. Even
The
in the dream.
the dream looks real sometimes, so real that you could not believe sometimes that was it real or unreal. You're so into the dream.
So just because the consistency of this waking state, we assume that it is real, but we really do not know. So you check the criteria for reality, that is, the things are not changing. Only them we call as real, but here everything is changing. That is why we are saying it is an illusion. Anything we put our hands on in this world is not real. It exists for a moment, but then it disappears. So that's why we say everything is impermanent here. Nothing is permanent. And if it is not permanent, we simply say that it is not real. Any doubts in this, Aiku?
No.
So whatever you are relying on is bound to change. So now we come to the memory part of it. Okay, one can say that the memory is of the events and objects, and therefore they are real. Let's say day one, the session we conducted regarding self-realization. It was a memory of an event. Therefore, they looked like real, that it happened the day one, and we even recorded the session and put it on the YouTube. Now they have disappeared. Now tell me one thing: if there is no memory in you about the day one session, would it exist for you?
No. Will no longer exist.
And there are many things in life which you have forgotten.
Right.
Like you can't remember when you were in your mother's womb. right?
Yeah.
And even when you were 2 3 years old, you can't remember things, but life, we were still there.
Actually, the teaching is so light. I sometimes laugh at the life also. This the thing is now the memory of a certain thing also gives some color of reality to it. Now, Aiko, if there is a tomato in your memory, okay,
Okay.
can you eat it now? If there is a, let's assume there is a tomato in your memory, can you eat it now?
No,
And is it real then?
it's not real.
Just because something has been imprinted in your memory, does it make it real? No. So it's a shadow in the memory. So even whatever is in your memory is not real. Nothing in your memory is real. The last day, the day one of the session is in your memory or on the YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
YouTube, it exists because it is a memory. It is a recording.
Is a program.
It is a program. It's a memory. Program is
That
there.
program, YouTube.
Yes, YouTube is a program which has a memory. So if there is no memory of the day one, it has already disappeared. So what we are saying is nothing in your memory is real, and that is why your whole life is a shadow. Because the memory was made of an event which was itself unreal. Because
Okay.
all the experiences are changing. So even if the memory of that changing experience is there, even the memory is unreal. Like, oh, this is what I'm trying to tell you.
Is
So
changing.
sometimes you see that remembering the bad times, we say, oh, I went through that and that time. The time has passed, but in the memory we are entangled. We assume that it is real because it comes again and again.
Mm-hmm.
But that event has already gone, it has changed, and
Yes.
memory is just the shadow of that event. And the event is unreal because it has changed, it is not there. So the memory of the unreal event is also unreal.
Okay.
It will also change.
Yes, it will.
You are getting it now, but it might be slight confusing to the mind. But I am saying nothing in your memory is real. It is just a shadow of the unreal experience. So your whole life is a shadow. Because your whole life is
Like
what?
children are photocopies of their parents. If not photocopies, but copies. Many ways. Where is
Mm.
that coming from? Let's say the building material of a baby. Okay. What it is?
It is
What it
also
is?
changing.
The DNA. The
It's
DNA is
it's
also a memory, right?
yeah.
It is like you are composed of that. That is also a memory, and it keeps repeating.
It is making the copies of itself, the
Mm.
replica. Even the material from which the children are made, even the materials are changing. Even you cannot remain same.
Yes.
If you have children one day, then of course some more things will be added to the memory than of your parents.
So, why I am saying your life is a shadow? Because one thing is there is no person already. We have seen there is no person as Aiko because it is unreal. It is going to change. Aiko is changing day by day.
Mm.
But the false Aiko is already changing day by day. And the real Aiko, the empty one, the witness one, it is not changing. So the false person is which was dependent on the memory. There is no such person as that. And there is no life. The people say na कि I have a life. There is no such person and there is no such life. It is a totally fake.
Illusory.
illusion. Illusion means that which seems to be there, but it is not there. That is why we say the illusion. You should get this one word very straight. Aiko, illusion means that which seems to be there, but it is not there. My hand is like this. It is there. Now it is not there. Now where was that moment went away? So I try to repeat my hand again at this position. Okay? But it is again the changing experience. How so many times I put my hand there, but it is still an unreal hand. Because it cannot remain in particular thing. Even if I argue that it has remained here for a particular time, but with time this hand is going to change. And one day death will finally take it away. So simply say that our hand is not real. It is illusion. It seems to be there. Okay, it seems to be there in this moment, but it is not there. That is why the illusion.
Maya.
Maya. Have you heard this word Maya before?
Maya.
The Hindu
This is
Hindi
a
word.
Hindi word, different language word. Have you heard it? Maya, M-A-Y-A. The great seers
Of the past, Indian
of the
sages.
past, everywhere on the globe, even in India particularly, the great giants of Indian spiritual, the masters, they have said, the whole life is a dream, the whole life is illusion,
The Maya.
is a Maya.
So Maya.
Yes, this whole life of illusion means everything seems to be here, but it is not there actually. If you try to catch hold of anything in this life, you cannot. But we cry on the past, so we cry on the memory of those experiences. So even what I am saying is, even the memory, the memory of an unreal experience is also unreal. It is going to change. So when we say I am the so and so daughter of this, I have done so much, I belong to this great country, superior race, it is just all this stuffed in our memory, right? And we have already seen it is just a shadow. So memory is not real. Even the memory is not real because it is also changing. So nothing is real, but Aiko, it is useful for the survival. Survival of whom? This false identity, this illusory, illusionary, what it is?
Illusory.
Illusory life. Illusory. So if you do not need it for survival, throw it. You don't need to survive. Your body needs to survive, but we have already seen that this body is not you.
Suppose you have anxiety or anger at a certain point, right? And you totally take it as reality that I am suffering from this. It's paining and it's happening, and so your body suffers, right? And your body degrades, right?
Yes,
So
it follows.
yes, and then when you come to realization that I can't do this to this body, then you leave that thing and you eat and you whatever you do, right? So the survival part comes here. You know that you have to eat in order to survive. You have to be happy in order to have your healthy body, right? So it is for survival. Suppose anger, suppose food, all these things are there for our survival, not to accept them as reality, which degrades us, degrades this body.
So what she means says that even if you assume that some experiences are compulsive regarding eating, there is anxiety. To an anxiety person, we cannot tell, okay, your anxiety is unreal. Okay, it is useful for some survival. So the thing is, but the anxiety is not us already. The body is not us already. If during the anxiety we try to observe the anxiety, you will simply come to know that you are the witness to the anxiety. People fail to witness the anxiety and they assume that it is happening to us. If anxiety happens and you forget all the teaching of witness or observing the particular compulsive experience, which is anxiety in this case, so the observation of anxiety will make the anxiety separate from you, because you are witness, and anxiety will just appear as an experience. So when people try to solve or manage the anxiety, their efforts are totally fruitless. We have seen already. They try to manage, but the person, if he becomes a witness to that anxiety, then there is nothing to solve.
Right.
Still, this body and mind can do many things to manage, but the witness need not do anything. At the level of witness, there is no problem. At the level of body, mind, there are n number of problems.
You must have seen when you try to stop the anxiety, like it should not happen, it appears more, it increases in fact.
Mm-hmm.
But when you are separate from anxiety, you see it as witness, then it comes and it goes.
So, by this example, what we mean is, because we have seen the memory is not real. The memory is not real. So, nothing is real. Not even the experiences are real, not even the memory of the experiences are real. If anything is happening, that is the body, that is to the body or the mind, but we have already seen that we are not them. So we do not need even the memory, and we do not need this whole world even. The body needs the world, the mind needs the world, and we let it happen the way it is happening because we cannot throw it away. Can you throw your body away right now?
No,
Even if you wish,
I
you
can't.
can't. You can't. Because it is an experience for you. Can you throw the mind? No. So we let it happen because we cannot throw it away. But Aiko, we live in an illusion, but we believe it is true. So that is the ignorance. That is the wrong knowledge that has been fed us from many people. That we believe the world is true, but in fact it is an illusion. When we live in awareness, we live as that which is truth. When we live in the knowledge of ourselves, the true nature of us, the awareness means we know what I am. I am the witness. Okay, being a witness, whenever you are in witness, you are in awareness. Okay, so this is the knowledge. We live in awareness of what is truth and what is not. So this is the knowledge of the illusion. Aiko, that nothing is real because everything is changing.
Mm-hmm.
We have seen by examples that whatever changes, whatever, we do not trust it already. So if the whole world is changing, tell me, Aiko, whom should we trust?
No, shouldn't trust it.
But we blame the boyfriend the most because he changed so fast.
And we blame that
Females.
it happens
Right.
because of some or the other person.
No, the even the boyfriends or the male person will also blame their partner. They will
Yeah,
say,
vice versa.
some people say they changed after marriage.
The
Me
more you live
too.
with the person, the longer you live with the person, more realities, or should I say, more things
Yeah,
come up.
More
And
things come up. So, but
totally.
but this is the one small aspect of the whole world regarding a person, the bad state happens. But when we are saying the whole world is unreal,
Hmm.
then what about a boyfriend or a girlfriend?
They are not an exemption.
They are not an exemption. But our mind, in ignorance, it tries to make the things permanent, which are not. So when the mind makes an effort, the ignorance then results in the suffering.
Right.
When we do not really see the nature of things as they are, that is the case of. When tell me, when everything is changing, can you hold on to anything?
No.
So why people try to, may put the attachment for a particular object or the people when they are bound to change? If the change is in our liking, we are happy. If the change is not according to us, we feel suffered.
Mm.
But change is inevitable.
Right.
So people also have some hopes regarding the change. Oh, okay, today we are suffering. Tomorrow may better time will
Everything's gonna
come.
be fine.
It's gonna be fine.
People live in hope.
So, but what is the use of this hope or hopelessness away from this? Because the whole world, apart from the witness you are, is already illusion. So what is there now? What about the responsibilities of you as a person? Do it or you don't do it. It is same. Many questions regarding what should you do, what you should not. They are all very petty questions.
We all think that in order for us to be happy, it should be this way. Like anger should not come, anxiety should not come, this should not happen, that should not happen. And we try to make things permanent. We try to choose a person so that we don't get angry several times, because anger makes us suffered. है ना? So we can't do that. All the things are going to happen. Anger is going to come. Everything is going to come. So everything is going to come and go. Everything will pass. We remain the same.
If you lose the position of witness, then all the problems of life will crowd you. So the interesting thing, Aiko, is this: the unreal world is making us suffer or happy. The unreal world. If people really try to look at the nature of this world, it is already not there. Where was this world when you were not born? There was no world for you. See, there is a time when you were not there, and now the time has come. You are there. You appears to be there, and again a time will come when you will not be there.
Mhm.
Now, do you really exist? But the witness we have already seen that it is worthless, timeless. So, if you try to contemplate or see the truth of that, the witness was there even when you were not there. It is there when you are sitting with us, and it will be there even you are not in this world. That is why to hold on to this witness is most important.
Mm.
You try to hold on to this illusory world, will be in misery. And you hold on to this witness, it will always be with you.
Only this is permanent.
And Aiko, the craziest thing is this witness is empty.
Right.
Already your life is nothing, the world is unreal, then what is all this drama? It is a very slow dream.
And we take it as real.
You take it as real, that's why you suffer. When you see the world as it is, there is no suffering. There, even if there is suffering, even that is a dream.
And the interesting thing is, we only come to the path of knowledge when we suffer.
Yes.
The happy person don't go looking out for what is the reality. Why am I why am I happy? No one asks
Yeah.
why am I happy.
Mhm.
But why do I suffer? This, yes.
So the master says that everything is illusion except you. Now what to manage of illusion. Only what is necessary. You can set up another criteria. Okay, what is necessary for you, that is real for you. Okay, so your job, your body, mind, that becomes necessary for management. But the this criteria is just for so that you do not escape of the response. There are very great people who simply sees the nature of this world and they simply leave everything.
Yes.
And there are people who, even knowing everything, they remain in the world. So the idea is you can be free wherever you are. And what this knowledge gives you? It gives you infinite choices. You can live whichever way you want.
Freedom.
Freedom.
You don't need to go to the forest.
Now if everything is unreal, will you kick your boss? You will not kick your boss because there will be consequences. Now some people will argue that will consequences of the thing will make it real. People say like this, na? If you kick your boss and the consequences will be bad, but even in that bad consequence, can you remain in witness? If you remain in witness even in that bad state, that bad state will turn into a dream. So I am not promising or solving any of your problems. You just see, I am uh, deleting your problems because it is already deleted. That is when we say life is illusion. But when you go to the bed today, if you remember bad happening from your life, you will again become sad. So in that sad moment, you have to be in the awareness, the knowledge of the witness. You lose the position of witness, the life will surround you and your mind will have to find some solutions. But if you remain witness, there is no problem, nothing to be solved, everything is already solved. So which one is the better position to live, Aiko? To live in this world as body mind or to live in this world as witness?
As witness.
And this is with absolute authority that Aiko, if you keep this reality check every moment of your life, whether you are witness or not, trust me, one day you are going to laugh at this whole
Creation.
existence and creation, whole world. There will be nothing except laughter in you, nothing. You can laugh at yourself.
I understand your dilemma. When you hear it for the first time, it looks like what to do. Like if all of this is a drama, what to do then? Why we are living even? But slowly you will see it in your own experience.
This is the taste of truth, the taste of illusion, the taste of truth you got in day one, and the taste of world is that it is illusion.
Mhm.
This was the today's session. Anything you want to ask, Aiko, you are welcome.
Anything?
Any question?
Mm. Regarding the topic, I don't have a question, but my concern is are there like witnesses
Yes,
who use the path of knowledge? I don't know if probably they using it as an excuse, but they're like living in bad
yes,
stuff, doing bad stuff, but they're, you know, using path of knowledge as an excuse.
yes. So one thing is, the first question is, are there multiple witnesses? When you will check this statement or in your direct experience, do you have multiple witnesses?
Okay, where one?
In your direct experience, there is one witness and there is whole world.
Mm.
How do you assume there are two?
Okay.
In you have assumed. See, Aiko, you have assumed that there is. See, I know what you are meaning. There are three people. This video call. Your mind is saying if there is witness in me, there should be witness in other.
Mm-hmm.
So you counted 1, 2, 3. But tell me, am I a witness or am I an experience?
Experience.
So how you can't counted 3?
Okay. All right. Clarified.
There are three different experiences: what you are experiencing, what he is experiencing, what I am experiencing internally, right?
Actually, to give the answer to your question is there is only one witness. That is why there is love. There is no relation between you and me, but still we are talking like we are living in a family or whatever. Because I know that you and me are same.
It's a little hard to.
And second question was regarding that people can use path of knowledge as an excuse. The bad thing, because it permits bad things also. And the name of freedom, you can either kick your boss or you can butter your boss, butter polish
Yeah.
your boss. But I could see this one is again arising from an assumption that the world is real. The excuse is unreal.
Is from the mind.
Right.
People have taken very hard examples. I could said that okay, world is unreal. Let an elephant crush your head. So they will fear. Huh? People say, why you are fearing now? But if you can witness the fear, then even that happening, the fear will also be illusion. The fear becomes real because we
That
leave the state of witness. And there are many great examples in the history. You want to try, just read them out. People have remained witness even their deathbed. The Jesus,
Yes.
he was
Crucified
nailed in his hands
and feet. Yeah.
and the blood was oozing out from his hands. And even in that moment, he said to the persons or the people who were, nailing him down on the cross, the Jesus said to them, forget them, Lord, they do not know what
Don't
they are
know what
doing.
they're doing.
So, a person whose hands are being nailed, can you, Aiko, say this statement? No, you will be full of anger towards them,
Going to curse them all.
going to curse them, blame them all. But that Jesus was in the witness. And from that witness state, he could see that even the experience of me, in the illusion, he was concerned for them. So it was a play for him. So the statement from the Jesus only shows that he had the knowledge of life. And as we have just discussed, that the witness is one. So Jesus was talking to himself. He was talking to his own people. So, but this is the pinnacle of understanding, Aiko. I can give you the answers, but these answers should come from your own experience. This witness will not go even in fighting.
Okay.
You are telling about bad things. I'm saying even if you have to murder person
Hmm.
and if you become witness, there will be no murder. Now what it means? There will be no doer of the murder. Understand this. Witness does not do anything. Witness is everything that is happening. So from the position of witness, there is no doer. So I can keep on giving you theories and theories, but a theory before the experience will only confuse your mind.
Right.
A theory, if I give you, let's say there are stage of learning or stage of stabilization in witness. Okay,
Okay.
let's say you are 10% witness. If you live more in the truth, it will become 50%, and a day will come you will become 100% witness all the time. So, in the 10% witness state, the life will be different. The Jesus was in the 100% witness state. So from his perspective, the life is different. But what people do the mistake is they take the teachings of that 100% witness and they deliver it to the people with no witness. So how can they apply? So if Jesus said, love the enemy, they cannot even love their wife. But that teaching is from a very high standpoint. Understand? So the answer I gave you from a height, but this answer is just to satisfy your question. But the real answer should come from your own experience.
Experience.
So when that bad state or excuse come, then you remain and watch and observe like a witness. Then all the answers which right now I am giving to you come from your within. There will be no need of masters. Okay.
Okay.
Any more question, Aiko?
No.
The problem that beginner faces, beginner seeker faces, that they can't remain in the witness for a very long time. Suppose you are like aware right now,
Yeah.
and after we disconnect the call, it decreases to an extent, right? Because
Yes.
for so many years, mind has ruled you. You live in that reality. Doesn't change in a moment. That is why you fall back to the original, which was original for you.
Yeah.
So it is difficult at like first, but with your own experiences,
Life,
you grow.
you will grow. Okay. So right now, right here, the truth is in front of you. Whenever you want to see it. You are the witness, and the whole world is illusion.
That is why it is said that Buddha took 12 years like for the enlightenment, and this sage took this much time. For what was that time for? Establishing in witness, total witness.
So if you become total witness right here, right now,
You are a Buddha.
you will see the whole world as a dream right now. So the world which were bothering you so much, you need not manage the world. You need to manage yourself only. You get the direction, Aiko?
Yeah.
When you will manage yourself, the self-control will come automatically. And once you control yourself, the whole world is already in your control.
Hmm.
Even I know sometimes you feel that you are weak in some situations, but you are as strong, you are even stronger than the whole universe. Because the witness is untouched by the you are that.
Hmm. Right.
So your weaknesses, your struggles, your challenges are just assumed. They are not real. When you have made them real, understand this. You stop making them real, they are already not there. But something in you keeps repeating, Aiko is this, I speak ye wo. Okay. So with a very happy note and blessings, close the session. Aiko.
Okay. All right. Thank you, guys.
Bye. Namaste.
Good
Bye
night.
bye. Good night. See you
And
next time.
it is the third session. Will plan one more. Okay.
Okay. All right. Goodbye.
Till that time, you experiment.
Yeah, I will. Thank you.
Bye
Good
bye.
night.